In this video, you're going to learn how I drive all of my real estate leads for my Las Vegas real estate business through my real estate website. All of my leads come from my website, through my website, also through social channels, videos. We're going to talk about search engine optimization, ranking on the search engines, how people search, how we can find out more about how they search. We're going to look at actual evidence of how people are finding my website, the search engine optimization keyword tools that I use, and then we'll look at how I continuously make offers and build a list and cultivate that list. In addition, I generate a lot of leads through social media and specifically through real estate agent referrals through social media. So I'm going to be really open and honest and talk about all of those things. And I hope you enjoy this video. My name is Lori Ballen. I would love your real estate agent referrals in Las Vegas, Henderson, and North Las Vegas, Nevada. Enjoy this video. My webinars are sponsored by Listings to Leads. And what I want you to do is click on that blue link and set yourself up with a free trial. Listings to Leads, I'm going to be showing you actually today how I use the home valuation tool. That's the primary thing that I use from Listings to Leads is the home valuation tool, and that's how I generate listings. I'm going to show you how I do that today. So you'll want to do that because my leads get an extended free trial. Oh my gosh. Okay, my cat's playing with the wires behind the computer. So check that out, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that screen so we can move on to the next thing here. All right, so I'm going to see if I can make that just a tiny bit larger. There we go. Perfect. Okay, this is my real estate agent website, and this is called the Brew, which stands for Ballen Real Estate Websites. Now, I really want you to listen to this piece right here. If you are just going to do paid ads, where you are just going to give out your business card with a URL.com on it, you can use anything. You can use any website to drive people over. Now, if I were only doing pay-per-click, I would make sure I had a killer IDX, great registration options. Okay, and then I'm going to talk about IDX. And then I would make sure that I have the ability to really, that's pretty much your primary thing if you're just generating leads through pay-per-click. Now, I generate most of my leads by ranking on the search engines and by creating relationships with other real estate agents that send me referrals through the internet. They all come from the internet. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, search engine optimization, Google, Bing, Yahoo, that is where all of my leads come from. So, and I've been doing this since 2007. And so just for real estate. Now, I also have several other businesses, and I earn 6 streams. I have 7 streams of income, and I earn 6 figures in something called affiliate marketing, which is a whole nother conversation. And all of these have been built on WordPress platforms. Now, in 2007, I used the brokerage website. I moved over to Keller Williams. I adopted the brokerage provided website. Like we had eAgency, we had Market Leader. We had several of those. I paid somebody to pimp out my website, put personalized skins on it and whatnot. And then I got to a certain point where I was like, you know what? I need more control. I want to control what codes I can put on my website. I want to control where I can put pop-ups and what pages. I want to know where I can put video. I don't want it to be hard. I need to move fast, so I don't want it to be hard. I want a website platform that's going to grow with me as I develop my own skills, and I knew I was going to be developing all of these skills over time. And so I chose WordPress, which is a complete content management system. And I own my own website. What that means is when I was over at Coldwell Banker, and I left Coldwell Banker, and I had built all this SEO, search engine optimization, which means ranking on the search engines. I had built all of that SEO, and then the day I left, I had to leave it all behind because it stayed with the brokerage. It really wasn't my own website. So my suggestion is, I don't care what brokerage you're with, have your own platform, have your own website. And you guys are going to hear, even though I teach KW Command, which is the Keller Williams platform where we're offered websites and everything else, I'm still going to tell you, own your own website. Don't put your eggs all in that basket. If you aren't going to build any search engine rankings, well, okay, you just want a calling card for the search for people to put on your business card, then something like that's going to be fine. But if you're going to try to blog and do all these things I do, you're going to want your own platform. Okay, my suggestion is WordPress, and not all WordPress website hosts are the same. Some of them block your ability to use your WordPress, and sometimes your WordPress is really slow because they don't have the right server. So talk to me about that, or talk to Jeff about which where to go. Again, Jeff builds them, so you can talk to him about it. If you just need a host, you're going to build your own, I can help you with links to that. Okay. I'm going to put more of that in my ebook as well. That'll be a little bit more helpful where it comes to that. Because for me, I don't just want to I'm not just trying to upsell you. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, I want you to be able to do it yourself. As a matter of fact, right now I'm starting a new website where I'm building from scratch, start to finish, and I'm documenting the entire process, and it's a real estate website. And it's because I want you to be able to see exactly how to go onto a platform, register a domain name, choose your hosting plan, upload your theme onto WordPress, add your plugins, and then da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm building all of that for you. I'm building that now so I can document the process. Okay, so yes, I will work on getting you guys that ebook. And in the meantime, it's probably all on my YouTube channel as well. So, no. And if you're really stuck, just message Jeff and say, hey, Lori mentioned this, that, or message me, and I'll get it for you, okay? All right, so IDX. IDX stands for Internet Data Exchange, and basically it's what puts these real estate listings on your website. And what many people don't understand is that you have a choice of what your IDX looks like, the colors, the registration, the size, how they look and feel, if you choose the right IDX provider. Now, if you are just using a brokerage provided website, you're at the mercy of whatever they give you. You're not going to be able to do a lot with it. If you want the customization ability, you're going to want something like this, okay? Now, don't sign up today when I talk about a product. Don't click over and just register, because I have certain links that save you money or get you free extended trials. Most of the time, I do benefit as well if you sign up. I have a commission process where the products I use, I teach about them, and I also earn income on that. But I want to make sure you get the full options on how to set this up. For example, let's just say you fall in love with my IDX that I have on the screen, and you want this. I can give you a link for IDX Broker, and you could just sign up. But if you use my link, you'll save $99 on the setup fee. And this is also something Jeff can help you with, okay? So IDX, Internet Data Exchange. Now, it used to be in the old days that IDX alone got you search engine traffic. So if you put a strong IDX up there and somebody were to search 9100 Dolphin Cove Court or homes for sale in 89117, your IDX pages would rank on the search engine by themselves. We're not seeing so much of that anymore. And this is why a lot of people say SEO doesn't work anymore. No, the person doesn't work anymore. They just haven't stayed on top of the trends to know what works and what doesn't work. So I don't rely on just the IDX solution or plugin or feed to rank on the search engines. Instead, I create pages on my website myself and talk about the neighborhoods and the high rises and downtown Las Vegas and things like that. And when people do searches, now they find my website and I have IDX as part of it, okay? So this is what IDX is. Now here I have an IDX widget. They can search all homes. I've got some calls to action, Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas. Underneath this, I have a lot of my reviews. Underneath that, I have neighborhoods. So this is what I was just talking about. So I actually create pages about the neighborhoods in my city. And it's funny, I was just going through this yesterday saying I need to get to work because we have a lot of new neighborhoods that I haven't written on. And neighborhoods are where whatever they are called where you are. You might have north, south, west, east, across the river, by the train track, up the hill. It might be called, by the community, by the subdivision, by the zip code, by the school district. So whatever it is where you are, that's what you want to be writing about. So I write about all the zip codes. That gets me a ton of traffic. It's hard to rank for zip codes in a market that's super competitive like mine, and yet I've managed to continuously rank on page one for a variation of keywords related to zip codes, and I get a lot of traffic. Neighborhoods, so I write about all the communities. Homes around a school zone, so I'll list out all the schools, because people do search by schools. Now, my experience, it's funny, I was thinking this morning, if I were to start over today, because a lot of you guys are just starting, if I were to start over today, because I've been doing this a long time, what would I tell people about generating leads online? I'm going to make a video on this separate thing too. And one of the things that I first thought of, I would tell everybody, one, own your own website. Two, decide in advance who your audience is going to be. Start really, really small and work your way up. Don't do this. Don't do all this. I didn't start this way. Don't try to cover all of your market, because you won't get anywhere. Instead, start with something small like 55 plus communities. Now, wherever you are, you've got to look at your own market. Waterfront properties, high-rise condos, in my case, homes on the strip or homes downtown. A neighborhood, a large neighborhood, like Summerlin for me is where I live, and I just absolutely love it here so much. I've lived here since 1992, and Summerlin has 100,000 residents. So it's like the size of some small towns. So the new website I'm building, that you guys are going to come along with me and follow if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm building it on Summerlin. I started that a few years ago. I got away from it, building too big, and now I want to go back to those basics of showing everybody how much better you can do when you keep things small than when you try to do all things. So I would tell you, first, pick an audience. First-time home buyers is a great one. You could build an entire website around starter homes, homes in that price range, condos, townhomes, flats, lofts, whatever you got in your market. You could provide a lot of information about low down payments, credit score requirements. Something just slipped my mind, but all of those things related to first-time home buyers would be a fantastic starting website. Okay. Another one would be divorce real estate. Your whole website's going to be about selling a house when you're getting divorced. That might only be 5 pages, 10 pages, but then you're going to continuously blog on that, maybe, once a month, a really good, meaty, hearty video and blog. If you know that niche, that would be a fantastic one. And I'm getting a lot now. I interviewed Laurel Starks is her name. And if you message me, I think I have a coupon for her divorce program, divorce real estate program. She wrote a book. She got a best-selling book. She teaches people how to sell houses in a divorce situation. And I interviewed her on a podcast and on a video, and I put it on my website. And now I get all these leads for divorce real estate. It was amazing how much that stuck. And it's funny, there again, I'm in Vegas. I should totally be talking more and more about divorce real estate. So that's another idea. But I think if you start really, really small to begin with in a very specific niche, you will do so much better than if you just try to build a real estate website and all things. And don't get caught up in the I have to build all things, because then you're building nothing. I was telling somebody the other day, I do this thing. Let me show you this. I do this thing where I send out greeting cards. Okay. Some of you guys have gotten them. I've been doing this since 2007, but I got away from it. And I don't know why we do these things. We stop doing the things that put us on the map in the first place, right? So what I do, and I'm doing this now with, I'll give you a few examples. So this one here is a birthday card, and this is send out cards. Again, I'll send you links. And what I do is I go to Facebook and I find that person's profile pic, or if we go out to a real estate, if we have a closing, you could take a picture of your client And then when it's their birthday, you send them this card. And I actually have a subscription to this, $99 a month, unlimited cards. I can sit and send as many of these manual cards as I want to for $99, including postage. They also have like a $33 one and some other options. And so anyway, I was talking to Jeff. I think it was Jeff the other day, my brother that's on here. And I said, Jeff, I said, I really want to send 5 of these a day. And I'm like, it's driving me crazy because I want to sit and do 5 of these a day so badly. And after that call, I got to thinking about what's causing me the time challenges that I'm not getting to the 5 a day that I committed to. Because, we all do that, right? We commit and then we don't get to something like we want to. And I realize it's because I'm making all of my clients equally important. And I'm making all of my Facebook friends equally important. And the one thing I teach everybody not to do, you've got to segment your audiences and segment your list and know who you're dealing with. So imagine if I just build a website all about, 55 plus. And I do all the things I'm teaching today to make offers, and I generate a bunch of 55 plus leads. And then I do this kind of thing for those 55 plus people, much more manageable to manage, a couple hundred people than to manage 20,000 people like I'm trying to do. So I generate a lot of leads. I mean, a lot of leads. And so things get crazy really quickly. All right. So this is send out cards. I have a link to this. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see if I forgot. If I have put up the offers, do I have send out cards on here? No, I don't have send out cards on here. So send out cards. I do have a link. I don't know if Jeff has it, and I will send that to you after the fact. But if you look up, it'll ask you to choose a sponsor, and you can pick me. And I do benefit if you do that. I've got a course on send out cards I've started building, teaching people how to do that as well. Thank you, Jeff. He does have it. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is kind of the idea. If you go to ballenvegas.com, which is my website, you can feel free to play around and look around in there. You will notice that I have a lot of advertisement on my website. And that is something I turned on this year to kind of test and see how much money I can make from paid ads. And although I hate the look of paid ads, I wanted to measure, does it reduce bounce rates? Does it increase bounce rates? Which means, do people land on my website and bounce right off, or do they still stay? So far, it has not reduced the user experience. It has not reduced actions. It has not reduced repeat visitors, even though on a desktop, it's ugly to have all these ads. On mobile, it doesn't look so bad. It kind of just blends right in. But for some reason, on the desktop, it's like, this is an ad, especially on a big screen like I'm using right here. So you'll see some of that throughout there. And that's part of what I refer to with the affiliate marketing. So you'll see a bunch of stuff on there. Feel free to ask me like, hey, why did you do that blog? Or what is that? If you want to poke around and play with that. And then I also do a monthly real estate market report. And let me share this with you. Real estate listings come in from the web too, not just real estate buyers. They are much harder to get, yet when you get them, they're much easier to convert, depending on how you get them. If you just go run a Facebook ad and say, get your instant home valuation, you're going to get a bunch of Joe Schmoes that have no desire to sell their house. But if somebody goes to Google and types in, what are closing costs when selling my home in Las Vegas, and they find my blog and they register for an instant home valuation, those are going to be much more viable listing leads than any other type of lead. The other way I get a lot of leads is by doing a monthly real estate market report. Now, let me see which one I've got up on here. Okay, yep, right one. Okay, that thumbnail's hilarious. That's her chosen thumbnail. I didn't make that thumbnail image. So what I do every month, and this is something that you should put on your to-do list. So step 1 is to have your own website that you own. Step 2 is to have a great IDX real estate solution, which again, I use IDX Broker. I've got a link that'll save you the $99, or you can talk to Jeff about getting that set up. Step 2. Step 3, know who your audience is and who you're going to create content for. pick a niche or a hyper-local geographic location, a zip code, a neighborhood, Victorian homes, investment. You're going to talk to investors. Pick one. Listen to me. If you do nothing else, pick one. Build later onto it. Pick something small and nail it before you go too big. Every month, do a real estate market report. Now, that real estate market report could be very specific to the geographic location you're going to talk about or the niche. So in my case here, this is a real estate market report that covers all kinds of things. I have all of the years of Las Vegas for the past 5 years. I've got homes prices by neighborhood. I've got home prices by property type. I've got all kinds of things. And when somebody comes in here, they oftentimes will click this button, get your instant home value in this free report. Those become listings. Not all of them, it's still a percentage, but those become listings. So what happens is they click that button. Please do not fill this form out on my website. Go over to Listings to Leads with my link and get your extended free trial and check this out yourself. Because if you fill this out, you're going to go in my database and I got to sort through all that. So what they do here is they land here, Las Vegas home value estimates. They fill this out. This is being populated by Listings to Leads. And then they get an instant home valuation. Now, as we know, instant home valuations aren't super accurate. And so I have a follow-up campaign that goes to them that says, hey, thank you for filling out the home value request. I wanted to let you know that that was formulated by a computer. And we all know that people coming out and seeing your house and understanding the market, knowing your neighborhood, are going to be able to give you a better estimate for you than the computer is. It's just kind of using all the things in the general area. So we'd love to come out and talk to you. And then I send an automated text, talk to Jeff about Autopilot ISA. Autopilot ISA. We send a text that's automated that says, are you interested in selling your house? And then it has a follow-up campaign. Well, that very first question, are you interested in selling a house, generates response. And we get listing appointments because they say yes. And it's funny how many of us don't even think about sending a question like that. Now, a lot of the tools that I use cost money. And my suggestion is if you're just getting started, that you, try things in steps to make sure how they work for you. If you can't afford a full-blown follow-up system with automated dials and all that, then you need to be ready to pick up a phone and text somebody and say, oh, hi, so-and-so, I noticed you were on my website. Are you interested in selling a house? I was trying to show you the phone, but it didn't look like it was going through. Anyway, so you can do some of these things for free, but they're just going to be more manual is all, okay? Don't think, oh, I have to have all of Lori's fancy tools to do all this. It's not the case. There's certain things that you really do need to invest in and other things that can come later. So they might also not be as expensive as you think. So check it out. So I get a lot of leads from this tool here. So this is the home valuation. I'm scanning to see if you guys have any questions. Yeah. So yes, Patty. So I also started with small affiliate relationships, and I've got a webinar. I've got a video on YouTube all about affiliate marketing you can check out that'll really break down what all that means. Okay, so the real estate market report once a month. Now, my suggestion is if you at all are comfortable on camera, or you have a team member that's comfortable on camera, or you have a mortgage lender that's comfortable on camera, or you have a title rep that's comfortable on camera, hopefully you can get several of them, start a YouTube channel at the same time. Now, YouTube is super, super powerful for people looking for information on the real estate market, or they're looking at what types of houses or neighborhoods or maps or things like that. To do a monthly real estate market report is also a great idea. So what we always did, and I say did because I don't have the same kind of team structure that I did before where I had 15 members on my team, but I picked a team member that at first wasn't comfortable at all doing it. And then over time he got more comfortable, and he would just put up a flip chart behind him, and he would write down like how many single family homes there were and how many condos there were and how many short whatever. And he'd kind of just interpret what that meant. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? What do we think we're looking at? and we put that on YouTube once a month. Now, right now, because I'm not as active with a physical team. All right, Jeff, let me know if you guys are still here. I clicked the wrong button. I got too excited, I think. Let me open chat. Oh, on air. Oh, am I back? Okay, good. All right, thank you. All right, so Donna said, do you use one YouTube channel and categorize all content for all audiences, or do you create channels for particular targets? You know, it's too hard to create too many YouTube channels that actually do anything because you've got to create a lot of content. So I would start with one. And although as much as I like to talk to a niche, so for example, let's just say you pick 55 plus communities. When you build your YouTube channel, try to talk to that audience. Like, do the market report and then say, now here's what this means if you live in Sun City, Summerlin, 55 plus community. Here's what this means if you live in such and such 55 plus community. Do your best to continue to talk to the audience that you have. So for me, the new Summerlin website I'm building, I'm going to do a separate Summerlin real estate market report every month. So I'll still do my big one because I have a big website. I need to still do the big one, but then I'm going to do one specific for Summerlin. So that if I'm going to build enough video content, at least a video a week, then it's worth building a YouTube channel. But if you're just going to do one here or there, it's going to be hard to get any traction. So you don't have to start a YouTube channel, but I'm telling you, it's going to help boost all of the things that you do if you're willing to do that. Some people do podcasts because they don't want to be on video, but YouTube is such a powerful engine. So I would suggest that. Okay, now let's go over and talk about some of these blogs that I'm doing. Okay, so right here, I'm going to open my analytics software, and this is called Clicky. Okay, Clicky. And if you look what I'm showing you here, I pulled this up in advance. These are some of the ways, these are actual search terms people are using to find my website. So you can see here, what percent will my house appreciate in the 89123 Las Vegas area code in the next year? Now, I'm not going to open each one of these because for the sake of time, I got to keep moving pretty quickly. But what happens is that's a blog that I wrote. So it's either a blog I wrote on appreciation, neighborhoods with the most appreciation, or they might be landing right on my real estate market report. So when you think about talking about your market, remember what sellers especially want to know. Home values. What can you create about home values? Now, in a case like that, you might have to write your own blog rather than hire it out, because this is one of those things that's hard to hire a writer for. I'm going to talk about hiring a writer before we go, but that's a hard one. So what you could do is you could go stand somewhere in a real estate listing or in front of a park, or you got to watch your audio outside is really tricky. Or you can do it in your own kitchen. You could do it sitting here in front of a computer and talk about that market. That you guys have, that you've picked as a niche. In this case, I could do a whole website on a zip code because our zip codes are so large if I wanted to, and talk about the home appreciation and home markets. But that's what a seller wants to really talk about is those things. And a buyer might be interested in highest appreciation because they want to buy a house that they intend to rent out in a couple of years. That's very common, especially here in Vegas. And so oh, Jeff says my screen isn't sharing. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Jeff. So if you look here, these are the types of searches people are finding. The second one is luxury homes in Las Vegas with a 6-car garage. Now, let me show you how easy this is. Luxury homes in Las Vegas with a 6-car garage. You guys, this is what keeps me in the top of my market. Those types of searches that no other real estate agent thinks to stop and put on a website. So let me show you what this looks like. So if I go to my real estate site and I create new, and I'm going to create a new post. It could be a blog post. It could be a page. We're not going to get into all that today. It really just kind of matters in your bigger scheme of things, but however you want to build it, either one is still a page. So it's going to be fine. Okay. So you know what? Let me do it. Let me do a post instead because that one's being tricky with me. Hold on. I'm going to new post. I just want a clean slate one with no special content blocks so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is your WordPress platform here. So we go to new page, new blog post, okay? And now I'm going to create luxury homes in Las Vegas with a 6-car garage. Actually, I don't even need to put luxury. I can just put homes in Las Vegas with a 6-car garage, okay? And then here I'm going to do a little intro, like 150 words, like here you can browse the most recent homes for sale in Las Vegas with a 6-car garage. You'll find homes start at this price range and go to this price range, or however you just want to do a little intro. This is going to capture their attention, okay? Now watch this. I go over to my IDX widget, my IDX website. So this is IDX Broker, what I was talking about. And I go to create new. Now, don't try to follow me through all these steps. I have plenty of videos that teach you how to do this. Select type of widget. I'm going to go to showcase. Then I'm going to go to custom search, and I'm going to search by advanced search. I'm going to show all homes that are residential. I want them to be single family homes, and I want them to be in Las Vegas. Not sure why I'm getting 2 Las Vegases there. And then I'm going to choose, what do we say, 6-car garage. So let me go down and find my field that has garage attached. There it is. Look at this. Look at this. 20-car garages. So this is being populated by whatever your MLS fields are. So anything in your MLS fields, you can create pages around on your website. And those are going to rank better than just a generic search widget because you took the time to create a new page or post, title it, put in a widget that can rank with no content. It will blow your mind what happens when you actually build out all these pages on your website. And they're easy. You could just time block and say, okay, on Saturday, every Saturday, I'm going to build 10 of these pages. Boom, 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 boom. You can get them out in an hour. You know, it doesn't take long. Okay, so garage, I'm going to do 6-car garage, and then watch what happens. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to say, save this as a 6-car garage. Nobody sees this part but me. Now, how do I want to sort them? By newest listings, by oldest listings, least expensive to most, biggest to smallest, whatever I want. So I'll just do newest listings, and I'm going to choose 3 columns because that controls the size. And then watch what happens. Build widget. See this gibberish code right here? So it's giving me this JavaScript, which is just a basic piece of code. I'm going to copy it, go over to my website, click on this little plus sign, and I'm going to add an HTML block. We all have this on WordPress Gutenberg, by the way. Paste, preview. Look what happens. Boom. There's the houses. If I preview this and make it large, I could literally hit publish right now and be done. And that web page can rank on the search engines by itself without a lot of content because it's not super competitive because nobody else is thinking to do this. Okay. Now, are you going to outrank Zillow on all things? Absolutely not. Are they going to kick your butt on 99%? Absolutely. The power is in these long tail searches. When somebody types in homes for sale in Summerlin with an attic and a mother-in-law quarters, like these are the kind of things that really bring in a lot of my traffic. And you can see it here when they type something like that in, okay? Now, the next example is burying a statue of St. Joseph. This is a blog post. I wrote a blog post about how to bury the St. Joseph statue. Now, how did I know to do that? I've got a video that teaches you all about how to use, how to find, it's in your ebook already, I wrote it this morning, how to find blog topics. And I talk about how to use Google Suggest. I also talk about how to use this tool here, which is one of my favorites, which is called SEMrush. So I do all of my SEO research on SEMrush. But when you first start out, this might be too expensive for you. So you might start off with a free. So I give you some free options as well. You can use my link, take a trial of this, and I'll send that out your way as well. And I think I have offers, SEMrush. No, I don't have SEMrush on there either. What am I doing? Slacking. Okay. So this is a cool tool that you can find a lot of things. So one of the advanced hacks that I do here is you can go take a competitor's website. So somebody else that does, let me just type one in, for example. So let's just type in San Diego real estate. We're going to look at the search engines, skip these ones that say ads. We're going to scroll down to somebody that's actually ranking. Let's find a little guy, not one of the portals. Let's do San Diego real estate market. Let me see who comes up under that. Redfin, Tribune, San Diego Real Estate Hunter. Okay, here's one. So I'm going to click on this guy. Now you could go through all of them if you want to. It doesn't matter. I just, in my head, I know what kind of results I'm going to see. So this guy, Scott Taylor, I don't know you, but good job, dude, because you just popped up in the top for San Diego real estate market. And that is such a hard, competitive market. So I'm impressed. Good job. All right, so we're gonna use you as an example, Mr. Scott Taylor. So I'm gonna copy his URL, this long thing up here. Let's just take his main website, San Diego Real Estate Hunter. And I'm gonna go over to SEMrush. And yes, I have a video on how to do all of this. So you can watch it slow. And let's do a search. All right, now click on View Full Report. You can see every single keyword he ranks for, how much traffic he gets for it, how much he pays for traffic, and then you don't steal their content, but you go get ideas for what to create around it. All right, so look at this first one. Oh my gosh, Scott Taylor, I love you. You just gave me a killer idea that I hadn't thought of. Look at the first one, Airbnb San Diego. I haven't done that for Vegas yet. That's a killer idea. One, home sellers that want to turn their homes into Airbnbs or VBOs or whatever you call them, the vacation rentals. And two, people that want to rent one. That's a killer blog. I hadn't thought about it. Number two, taco shop near me. Out here we do a lot with pizza and things like that. La Jolla restaurant, San Diego weather. This guy's doing everything I teach. Unbelievable. So good. Best beaches in San Diego, Carlsbad restaurants, hikes in San Diego, Imperial Beach. You see what he's doing? So because this guy focuses so much on local tacos, beaches, the same stuff I do, pumpkin patches, holiday lights, best bars, best happy hours, best places to take your kids to eat for free, steakhouses that open before 4 o'clock. Because we do all of this, when we talk about real estate, we also tend to rank higher because Google believes we are the specialist in that neighborhood. We are the specialist in our market, okay? So this is killer. This is gold. You never have to think about what to create if you just use your competitors. And this guy, I couldn't have picked a better example. I mean, he's doing it all right. So impressed. So impressed. Okay. Anyway, so there's that. So there's an example. So you can do the same thing in your market if you want to check out SEMrush. Now, next, so then I have a blog all about snakes in Las Vegas. Here's another one, townhomes under 200,000. So that's another one where I just created a page and put in a widget, an IDX widget. Okay. Look at this one. This one's awesome. Las Vegas gas number. So I created, here's another one. Look down here. Utility companies in Summerlin, Las Vegas. I created the easiest, most ridiculously easy blog post on utilities. So it lists like where to have your phone turned on, the cable company, the power company, how to forward your mail, yada, yada, yada. And it went straight to the top of the search engines. I created it just for a resource for my buyers. I really had no idea that it would do as well as it's done. And it doesn't really generate new buyer leads, because these are people, usually they're already in escrow or things like that. So I thought to myself, well, how can I monetize this? Because, all this work I'm doing, my website's an asset. It's sellable. I can run ads on it. But I thought, let me take this one step further. So I went over and found a program that the cable company here offers, where they pay me when somebody signs up for cable. That's called affiliate marketing. So I was able to turn this blog post into, now this particular one only generates about $100 a month, but that pays for my other content, or it pays me, or it pays whatever, $100. You know, when you start pulling this from all these different directions, all of a sudden your website becomes way more valuable than just buyers and sellers, right? I pay my rent off of my ads from my website that are on my website. So there, you can really take this in a lot of directions. Somebody will buy will buy a great website that's generating traffic. You can flip them. You can buy them, build them, flip them, or, you know, they're an asset. Own your own website if you're going to do all this, because it's an asset. It's a valuable item. All right. Okay. So then, and yes, those widgets are all Las Vegas listings, and you have permission to do so. Now, you can't go just run a Facebook ad on somebody else's listing. It is perfectly within the terms of all things related to real estate to have all of these IDX listings showing up on your website. It's perfectly compliant, and you will get approval to do all of that. It's not hard. Jeff can help you with that. They give you a form, your broker signs it, you send it into the MLS, they sign it, you get your IDX solution. So I never go market one person's property, but showing a list of homes is perfectly acceptable on your real estate website. All right. Now, next thing I want to show you is you're getting all this traffic on your website. Now you have to convert them to leads. One, you can change your registration options on that IDX. So you can force them to register when they look at pictures, or force them to register when they schedule a tour, or force them to register as soon as they do anything on that page if you want to. Now, I've gone a little bit different direction recently, and I've turned off the registration on IDX to let them browse at will. And the reason I'm doing that is because I wanted to test forced registration against voluntary registration with the right offer. So I'm playing with all kinds of offers. So on my website, I use something called Opt-in Monster. And this thing is quite genius. There are plenty of software options out there that do it. I researched a few and chose Opt-in Monster. And what Opt-in Monster does is when somebody lands on my website, you can go play with my website later and check it out. Several offers pop up depending on what page they are on the website, how long they've been on the website, how many pages they've viewed. I've got all these kind of little customizations in there. One of the most generic is this one: Las Vegas holidays, things to do, and real estate. I said to myself, let me see if people will still register for a newsletter. And they do. They register for this all the time. Now, the registration rate is really low, yet it still brings in a couple hundred leads a month. So again, I generate a lot of traffic. So you'll have to play with, it depends on how much traffic you actually get. All right, so then there's my cable company video. Then I also have pop-ups that are hyper-local related. So in this particular one that's doing really well right now, it's almost doing too well because I can barely keep up with it. I have things to do, like things to do for Halloween, or best pumpkin patches. And then around the holidays, I'll do where to go see the best holiday lights, where to get your pictures with the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus, best Mother's Day banquets, or best spas for Mother's Day. And people register for these hyper-local lists all the time. Now, the power of that is I can send out a newsletter. So let me show you a couple of these newsletters, what they look like. So the first one I have here, let me show you hyper-local first. Okay, here's hyper-local first. So I use something called Constant Contact. You can do this with Infusionsoft. You can do this with Zoho. You can do this with Aweber. You can do this with so many platforms. In this particular case, I'm using Constant Contact. I do have a link for Constant Contact as well. Let me check if it's in the offers. Choose an offer. That one I actually have. All right, so this, oops. All right, so you should be able to see that offer. I just published it. Constant Contact, get a free trial. I do like the templates that Constant Contact has. Now, for those of you that are shopping CRMs and email platforms, I'm finding that they're really generally two separate things. Sometimes if you're going to use a really robust system like Infusionsoft, you can get a bunch of this built in. But a lot of times you have a CRM that you manage all your contacts, and then you also have an email autoresponder, they call them, where you can send things out like this. And usually I think Constant Contact is like $30 a month for under 5,000 people or something. So you probably wouldn't have any need to pay more than that. So you can find inexpensive options, MailChimp, whatever that has templates. So this happens to be Constant Contact that I'm sending this out in. But you see how gorgeous this is? So what I do is I create a blog post for each one of these things, and it takes me like minutes, or I use a tool that imports them from the web. There is a tool, and I don't have a link for this one. They don't have a program. It's called, I think it's called the Event Plugin. Jeff knows. Jeff helped me customize it. The Events Plugin, I think it's called. And you can take events that show up on like Eventbrite, and you can import it in, and they'll automatically publish on your website. It'll make a blog post, and then you can automatically schedule, if I post on WordPress, then publish it to Facebook, then publish it to Twitter. Then you have all this automation happening, okay? So some of these I do by hand. Some of them are imported in through that plugin that I paid for one time. But I did hire Jeff at Ballen Brands to customize it, the layout a little bit to my liking. So these are really cool, and I get a ton of traffic. Now look at the bottom. What do I have here? Call to action, Keller Williams, Las Vegas, Lori Ballen. Well, and then once they sign up for holidays, I put them on my monthly real estate newsletter, and then they're also getting those updates. They can unsubscribe, or they can keep going if they want to. Also, some of these things are linked to my Groupon affiliate. So if they buy a Groupon, like last night I had one, somebody bought a $48 Groupon to a massage place, and I got $5. It's $4.80. So I get 10% from the things to do category on Groupon because I'm an affiliate. So I also benefit by sending those out and having people buy Groupons. There are certain times of the year, like Mother's Day, that those do really well. Okay, so I've got that. And then here is what the newsletter looks like. So once a month, I just go in and update it. So I talk about hyperlocal events. I put in a little IDX section. I put a little thing about the real estate market. That just comes straight from my MLS. I just log into my MLS and I take the graphs, and then get an instant home value, generates listings. And then I have hyperlocal, best trampoline parks, best food and wine festivals, Dave & Buster's Summerlin. Okay, this is stuff you can hire out for. One, Ballen Brands can write your blogs for you, this type of stuff especially. Or you can check out another platform. I use Crowd Content. So I pay 2 or 3 cents a word. Here's an example of trampoline park. So let's take a look at this one really quick so I can show you how this works. Yes, I do have a link for that one. Remove offer. Let me see if it's on here. Choose an offer. It is not. I do have opt-in monster, though. I want you guys to see that. Okay, I'm going to send it out in your ebook. Didn't realize those weren't in here. So Constant Contact, and I'll tell you the difference between hiring them and hiring somebody like Jeff or your own writer. I told them what to write about. Basically, I put in an order online, and I said, write about the Las Vegas trampoline parks. And they went in and wrote about all the trampoline parks. This is a no-brainer. This is so easy for them to do because they just use the computer, Wikipedia, whatever. So I paid, let's see what this one cost me. So I did a 1 star. I paid 2 cents, 2.2 cents, and the word count is 3,000 words. Turnaround time was 4 days from the time I ordered it to when they returned it. Now, the biggest difference is, so it cost me $66 for this particular one. And the reason why I was willing to spend it too is because Groupon, add. So not just for real estate, although even if I were just doing real estate, I would still write this blog because it shows to Google that, oh, Lori Ballen, there she is again, there she is again, there she is again. Every time this person Googles anything about Vegas, they find ballenvegas.com. So clearly the local specialist is ballenvegas.com. And the more time that person is on my website, the more likely Google is to serve up me in the response on the search engine results page because we have a relationship. So I would still do it, even with no ads. I've just learned how to monetize this so that I also can get paid from the actual work in some capacity. And I get my money back at least for my writers and whatnot, right? And so in this particular case, what they return to me, though, is just this script right here. It looks exactly like this. Now, if we go over to the actual blog, ballenvegas.com, trampoline, let me show you what it looks like. I have not finished optimizing it yet, but I still publish before I finish optimizing because I move on to the next thing sometime and I want to make sure I at least have it feeding the search engines. So here's what it looks like now. Look at this. I've got a table of contents. I've got pictures. I've got Groupons and affiliate items. I've got internal linking going on that drives them to other places. I've got videos that I've added. So I sit and optimize all this, which could take me an hour to put in these little dividers to make this look like a quality piece of content for the visitor. I've got to sit and put in all those elements. So when you hire your own person to do this, or you hire Jeff at Ballen Brands to do this, you're going to pay more because they're optimizing it. They're sitting down and doing all of this. But if you're going to sit down and optimize it, I have the formula for how to do all this. You can follow my formulas. Just give yourself time. So you're going to spend $66 on the article, and then you're going to spend an hour optimizing it. And if you're new, you might spend 2 hours optimizing it until you get the hang of it. So I always figure what my hourly time is, and then I decide whether that's worth leveraging out. You know, should I be in the field working with buyers and sellers today, or should I be optimizing this blog post? So it depends on what your structure looks like. For me, I don't work with clients. I have a team. So I have buyers and sellers, agents out. So this is what I do. So for me, sure, it makes sense for me to sit and do the optimization. But if I was running out with buyers and sellers, it might be something that I leverage out, or I time block for it and just determine when I actually want to do that. Okay, so, and then, so that's crowd content. Okay, it looks like Jeff's handling the conversation. Does Lori ever sleep? Believe it or not, I sleep 8 hours a night. I get funky if I don't. I'm just really purposeful about my time. And I follow this same strategy for all of my businesses. So it's just the same thing every day, getting up, make a video, maybe make a podcast, but I'm blogging, I'm doing all these newsletters, I'm emailing people. Okay, now here's an example of what I do with a just listed property. So I have a lot of people that register on my website for just listed homes offers, or maybe I run a Facebook ad for 9101 Dolphin Court. Now, I don't do a lot of paid advertising. I'll be really honest with you. Most of my stuff is earned in from Google, YouTube, that type of thing, search engines. I do enjoy running a good Facebook ad, especially when I get a real estate listing. The best buyer leads come from real estate listings when it comes to paid advertisement, or it comes from people Googling things like homes for sale with a basement and they find a paid ad. But in this particular case, I ran a Facebook ad. This one was through KW Command, got a bunch of leads. So I set up an automatic email responder with constant contact. So as soon as that lead came in, they got put in my list, and my list immediately sent them out this email. I never even had to do anything. And it looks gorgeous. I made this design in KW Command, but you can use Canva, lots of options there. And then I've got a button where they can view the details and get to the property. And in my case, Krista's on my team. This was her listing. So I wanted to give her a little special promo there. That could be you, whatever. This, you save the template, plug and play, move things in and out. None of this takes very long once you have your systems in check. So you got to have your systems. So what we're doing, in summary of all of this today, is one, we create a real estate website that hopefully we own. We choose a specific niche that we want to target to, area, demographic, type of home, that type of thing. 3, we create quality content that relates to that person. So we write blogs about their questions, answering their questions. We write blogs about home values in the area. Once a month, we create a real estate market report, hopefully targeting a niche that you're building a website around. We add in offers all throughout our website for that person to subscribe to build our subscriber list. And then we use email, text message, retargeting. There's all kinds of ways to use that list, direct mail, right? One of the things I do is when I get a home valuation request, I start mailing the seller cards. And about the 7th one, if they're interested in selling, is when they're likely to call based on proven studies. And again, at $99 a month, it's unlimited for me. So I just got a series of these home value cards that I send out, or, hey, are you thinking of selling? Or don't forget about me, Lori Ballen, we're still here, ready to sell your house. Or maybe a little market data. It's got one line on it that says, home prices in your area are up 5%. Call me to talk about your home value. They will open these cards. They'll throw away junk mail, like these things. Nobody wants these things, right? We throw those away. All right, mind the camera. But these we open because they're cards. And you can even, each time you can customize what the return address looks like, whether or not it has one or doesn't have it. So you can even mix that up. So there's lots of ways to cultivate those, but that is the summary of what it is. Now, I'm going to let you go in just a second. I generate a lot of referrals from real estate agents as well, using the exact same strategies. I have a blog for real estate agents. I have a YouTube channel for real estate agents. I create value for real estate agents through podcasting, through videos, through blogs. I create offers for real estate agents, and then I build a subscriber list. It's not any different. It's the same exact thing for every one of my businesses. So this works regardless of the vertical or niche that we're in. So